Good morning and welcome back to my channel. We've been to group this morning and I had intended to stay. And it's quite funny because when we got there we did the weigh-in bit and everything, and then I just know I've got a really busy day and I can't enjoy making myself have to dash from thing to thing, so I made a decision not to stay to group. It's funny because I used to be a great believer in I needed to stay every week, I needed the motivation. I'm in a really good place at the moment and I'm really motivated. I think I self-motivate myself because I'm in a really comfortable position with my weight. So I made the decision not to stay to group and I haven't regretted it. It's freed up a bit of time for me to get up my blog and then get out and do what I need to do. Spring has definitely sprung in Nottingham and it's going to be another nice day. We've started with a bit of a misty morning, but that often leads to a nice day, and I want to get a good walk in today. I feel energised and I need to use that energy to do something positive. We have managed quite a bit of walking this week and I feel better for it. I feel better for stretching my legs and definitely feel better for getting fresh air. We made a comment once or twice this week about the number of birds that are around. You know, you really notice the difference in the change of the seasons because the birds are singing their little hearts out. Right, so what kind of week have I had? Well, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I've had quite a tough week. Not necessarily because of things that have been happening in my week. We've had a week of hospital visits and stressful things, but stuff you need to deal with. So stuff you can't avoid. You can't put it on the back burner and forget about it. You just got to face it and get on with it. And one particular hospital that we go to, a private hospital in Sherwood Forest, does the best coffee on the planet. So I always justify the cost of going there because the coffee's so good. Joe laughs at me. What an expensive price to pay for a good cup of coffee. But hey, you've got to find the best in everything. In the middle of the week, I had, well, probably 3 days actually, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where I jokingly, well not so jokingly necessarily, said to Debbie in a text, if I had a horse, I'd eat it and come back for the rider. Now, that wasn't because I was hungry. It was a very strange feeling. It could be the old memory of eating my emotions. It could just be, but that's the kind of week I was going to have. I wanted to eat on those 3 days. I really wanted to eat. I wasn't hungry. I didn't necessarily think I was trying to eat my emotions. I just wanted to eat. But I gave myself a talking to, kind of, and I said to myself, what do you want to do more than anything? Do you want to be in Target? Do you want to be a Target member? Do you want to feel comfortable in your clothes, comfortable in your body, comfortable in your mind? Or do you want to eat and then spend the rest of the week thinking, oh my God, what kind of result am I going to get? Well, I'd have got the result I deserved because I'd have eaten all those surplus calories. So I actually made the decision to just stick to plan. And I often talk to Rebecca Shaw, about these things and how important it is for me to have a plan that is consistent and to have a plan that means eating my healthy extras, eating my free food, my speed food, enjoying my sins and not worrying about it. And I think for me that's the biggest thing. I've taken the worry out of my way of eating. I love this plan. I can't think of a way I would rather eat. And I have the choice. I have the same choices that everybody else has. You know, like today I've been to group. I didn't get the result I expected. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I haven't come away thinking, excuse me, I've got to click on. I haven't come away thinking I deserve to just blow it and think, who cares anyway? It's only your weight. I haven't come away thinking I need to diet. I've come away thinking I love the way I eat. I'm going to continue doing it. Now let me share my results with you. Went into group this morning feeling on top of the world, feeling totally comfortable in my clothes, wearing size 8 trousers and a size 10 top that's a bit on the big side. I'm wearing a size 10 top here and I've got enough room to probably get Joe inside it. But I like that. I like that feeling of freedom. I like that feeling of being able to move every part of my body and everything moves independently and I don't just feel like a big fat lump anymore. So went and paid, no I didn't pay, I put my card through the machine at Kelvin's Point. I went up to the scales, got on the scales and gained 1.5 pounds. Now I think Joe was quite taken back by that, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
Well, you've seen the way I've eaten all week. I've been 100% on plan, and that isn't deprivation, that's enjoyment. I've had 3 A choices every day, I've had 1 B choice every day, and I've had 103.5 sins over the week, because on 6 days I had 15 sins, and on 1 day I had 13.5. Now that is more or less what I did last week, apart from I think I had the 105 sins last week. I got a £0.5 pound gain, which I needed to get back into target. Now, how do I feel about gaining £1.5 pounds? 100% honesty, there's a bit of me that's confused, because it's like, how can you eat the same 2 weeks running and get different results? There's a bit of me that's feeling quite glad, because I'm comfortably back in target. My target is 9 stone. I am currently 8 stone 12.5. So £1.5 under my actual target, which is the ideal place to be, because although I like to be at the bottom end, it's not realistic. As I said in a text conversation with Debbie this week, and I think you'll have seen Debbie's results this week, this is life at target. This is maintaining. You know, it's, how can I put it? It's living. It's actually living, and when you know you're going to be that human yo-yo, you know you're going to bounce up and down a little bit, but you do that and you're comfortably eating and you're comfortably enjoying your food and you're actually living your life. I feel such a freedom within those boundaries. Yes, I'm happy because I'm slightly under my actual target. I don't want to be at the top end, ideally, but there will be times when I am. But I have the tools and the strategies to live this way and not be on a diet. I just feel like all I need to do is balance things. So going forward this week, my intention in a way to balance it is to say, you've been having 3 A choices, oops, fall off my own feet. You've been having 3 A choices every day. This week, go back to what the plan actually says and have 2. That's not difficult. You know, I can do that very easily. That's my intention. From today until next Saturday when I weigh in again, I will have 2 A choices, 1 B choice, 15 sins. Coming back in the car, I actually said to Joe, I think I'm going to reduce my sins to 10. Well, he laughs at me because he's like, why would you do that? You know, you're going to end up at deprivation station. Mum, don't be so stupid. And he's right. I know he's right. I'd have talked myself out of it by lunchtime anyway. So that's my result this week. A £1.5 pound gain, and I'm still in a really positive place. I can't expect to feel any better than I'm feeling today. I can't expect to live any freer from cravings than I'm living today. I think when I was talking to Rebecca by text on Thursday, I was saying that although I am craving free, it's not a case of, you know, I'm in this sort of Slimming World angel status, because I'm not at all. I am no different from anybody who's watching this video. Every day I could eat all the things I used to love eating. You know, I could go out and buy a pork pie. I said to Joe this week, why am I wanting to eat a chocolate trifle? Trifle's not my thing. Why am I wanting to eat a chocolate trifle? And I think sometimes it is just a want. It's not going to make me feel good. It's not going to help me stay within target. And it's something I could eat in 5 or 10 minutes and then think, why did I do that? And I think for today, what I'm grateful for is that my mind focuses on consequences. So although it would be very easy to do those things, it would be very easy to say today, let's go for a McDonald's or let's go to Pizza Hut or all of those things. But I'm more interested in the way I would feel afterwards. And I actually can relate to that today. Whereas I used to forget all that, wipe it all out, just want the instant gratification. I'm going to do it. I can bloody well do it if I want to. I'm going to do it now. And then an hour down the road, why did I just do that? It hasn't satisfied me, it hasn't scratched an itch, and it hasn't made me feel good. So I don't want to come on here every week and talk about, oh, I've been bang on plan, blah, 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 and everybody think, gosh, she has it easy. I'm no different to anybody else. It's down to choices, it's down to being consistent, and it's down to realising today what the consequences would be. I'm grateful for all of those things, and all of those things are things that Slimming World has taught me. Right, let me tell you a couple of things that have happened in my life this week that have been really, well, blessings actually. I had a text yesterday from Vodafone, who are my mobile providers, and I'm not advertising for Vodafone. I'm not saying you should change to Vodafone. I've been with Vodafone for 25 years and I'm a bit of a lazy so-and-so. I'm happy with what I've got, I don't need to change it, so I consistently stay with the same provider. Some people choose to swap around and get better deals. I do what works for me. But I had a text from Vodafone yesterday and it said your current discount offers have come to an end. Now on my Vodafone account I have 5 mobile phones, only 2 of them are mine, and the others are family ones, and everybody had the same text. So of course they all then text me and say, you're going to renegotiate, you're going to sort this out. And I did. I rang the number that they recommended, spoke to a very nice young lady, but the deals she was offering me were not good. So I just said to her, look, you're not giving me, you obviously aren't authorised to give me what I want. I know what I want, I know what I want to pay, I know what packages I need on the 5 different phones. Get somebody from the loyalty team to give me a ring, will you? Within 10 minutes I got a phone call from this really, really nice young man called Zach. And he said, yeah, you should have been flagged up as a loyalty customer anyway, so you're through to the right department now. Tell me what you want, let's negotiate. So we get into a conversation, and you might have noticed from my videos, I can talk for England. I love a good conversation, and I love to talk to strangers. I'm regularly getting conversations on buses and in shops and things. I think I embarrass Joe sometimes. But I got talking to Zach, and in the conversation he tells me my missus, as he called it, is due to have twin boys, so I finished work today. And I said, oh, that's lovely. And we got talking about, the joy and the blessing that your kids bring to you and that. These are his first children. Then we got talking, I don't know how the issue came up, I think we were talking about names, and his name was Zacharias, which is a biblical name, and then he was talking about the names he would possibly choose for his twin boys, and I said, oh, my son's got a biblical name, his name's Joseph. And we talked about the meaning of names and all this lot. Then we got back onto the subject of him having twin boys. And I'm telling him about Nikki Ryan and her gorgeous twins and, what a difference it's, what's opened up in her life and how wonderful it is and all this. And he said, my dad's a surgeon, he said. And he's got a really, really good friend who, they've been friends since they were kids, but his friend is an alcoholic. Now, we know nowadays that a lot of people are tortured by addiction. So, interesting conversation. He then goes on to tell me that his friend has got, his dad's friend, who's the alcoholic, has got twin sons. And we're talking about the influence in life over young people and everything. And he said, it's a funny thing, he said, these twin boys are now in their 40s. And one of them is a really, really successful businessman. And the other one is an alcoholic. And he said, what do you think causes people to be so different? You grow up in the same environment, you've grown up in the same family, and yet one of you can become a really successful businessman, the other can become an alcoholic. And his dad had actually asked these men, why do you think you are where you are in life? And the first guy, who's a really successful businessman, said, I grew up seeing my dad struggle. And I thought, I don't want that. I'm going to do everything within my power to be different. And he actually, got himself an education, really pushed himself, was really positive, and has ended up a successful businessman. The other bloke said, I saw my dad, an alcoholic and struggling, and I believed that that's hereditary. That's going to happen to me. I've got no choice. And Zach said, how do you see that? And I said, well, I can really relate to that because I grew up for my whole life as a failed dieter. And after what I was talking 3 or 4 weeks ago about, you know, what my mum's taught me, I now realise, looking back, that, I mean, who doesn't want to be like their mum? You're a little girl, your mum's the biggest influence in your life. And I realised, looking back, that my mum was a failed dieter. I shared the story about the one night my mum went out looking like a film star in a size 12 dress. Never saw her in that dress again because the weight went back on. Never saw her a size 12 again. She was always 14, 16, 18. She's still an 18 today. And I was saying to Zach, you know, it opens your eyes up to the fact that you can choose to be the same as the people around you, or you can choose to be very different. And I think what I've finally chosen to do, and it didn't come until the age of 59, was to actually be very different to my mum. And I'm not putting my mum down, I love my mum dearly. For years and years and years, I thought weight as a problem was hereditary. I didn't think it, I believed it. I believed weight as a problem was hereditary, so I ate accordingly. I don't believe that anymore. From the position I'm in today, I do not believe that anymore. I believe we have a choice, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's food, whether it's smoking, whether it's drugs, anything you can be addicted to. Exercise, we can be addicted to just about anything in life. We all have a choice. And I didn't take that choice and pick up that choice and run with it until I was 59 years old. And talking to this young man yesterday was such a blessing because it affirmed my beliefs today. That I am who I am because I choose to be. Now, I could very easily go back to choosing to be the person I used to be, and I could blame it all again on hereditary and addiction, but I don't have faith in any of that anymore. I've got faith in Slimming World because it works, and it works because I work it. And just all of these mind changes add to the ease of working this plan and believing in myself. So yeah, not only did he give me good deals on all of my phones, he gave me a real opportunity to see that what I believe today is true. Another thing I've been looking at this week is watching some videos about walking, and I don't know who he was. He was an American guy, and he was talking about, you know, the ability to lose weight by walking. I thought some of his ideas were a bit far-fetched, but again, he made me think about myself, because he said, have you believed all your life, and I felt like he was really talking to me, have you believed all your life that the skinny people in life are the ones with the fast metabolisms? Or have you believed all your life, because you're fat, because you're really overweight, the way I was, that you are burdened with a low rate of metabolism? Yeah, I believed that. And I've said it 1,000 times, if not more. Oh, the reason I'm overweight is because I have no metabolism. I've messed up my metabolism. I've ruined my metabolism. But this guy actually gave evidence and showed that the heavier you are, walking will burn off more calories because you're moving that bulk. You're lifting that weight, shifting it forward. Whereas when you get down to the kind of weight I'm at today, 8 stone, 12 and a half, you're not moving as much physical weight. I say you're not burning as many calories. In fact, I think when I walk today, I burn very few calories because it's so easy and I'm not shifting a lot of weight. So one of the things I've been talking to Joe about this week is actually buying a weighted vest. So if I want to get out there and I want to exercise by walking, I need to carry some more weight because I don't have that bulk to carry. And even if, you know, you're carrying an extra 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 stone, you're going to be burning more calories shifting that way than if you're at your ideal weight and you're at a good BMI and you're, well, a low weight. I suppose I'm at a low weight today, 124.5 pounds. So there's been a lot of stuff there today, this week, that's made me stop and think about the actions I take and what I really believe today. Yeah. Thank you, Zach. You blessed my socks off yesterday. We were on the phone for an hour, honestly, and very little of it was talking Vodafone, I can tell you. Right, one more little story and then I must crack on. On Wednesday we were on the way to see a friend, and one of the things that Joe eats on a regular basis is something called Go On soy yoghurt, and he has the big pots. And we've not been able to get any. Everywhere that sells it local to us, there's not that many places, all out of stock. So we couldn't get any when we went shopping on Tuesday. So on the way to see a friend on Wednesday, we called in Morrison's to see if they'd got some stock in. Again, there was none. And we were standing there looking at the shelf and Joe's like, no, nothing, I don't know what I'm going to have. Because he doesn't like so much the unsweetened or the sweetened soya yogurts. It's the Go On one he likes, which is 2 sins. So we had this conversation and we just turned to walk away, and there's a lady standing here with a trolley full of shopping. She said, excuse me, and she's speaking to Joe, are you lactose free? And Joe said, yeah. And so she starts asking him about something called lactase, and Joe was thinking that she wanted help because she was looking at all these yogurts, and he knows all about lactase. You know. So they start discussing the benefits of using lactase, and Joe said, I have tried it in the past, but it didn't work for me. Now, if you buy lactose-free cheese, lactose-free yogurts and lactose-free milk and stuff like that, because you've got a lactose intolerance like Joe has, what you're actually buying is normal cheese, normal milk, normal yogurt, but it has lactase added. They can't take the lactose out, they put lactase in. Lactase is the enzyme that digests lactose. So this lady, a lovely woman, her name was Anne, she started to tell us about this particular brand of lactase that she's found with the help of her daughter, who's a GP. And she actually then got it out of her bag to show Joe, and it's called Kirkland.
Yeah, Kirkland.
Yeah, Kirkland. Now this lactase is £25.99 on Amazon, and you get 180 individually wrapped tablets. So she got some out and she gave Joe 2, and she said, please try this. I'm imploring you, please try this. It's changed my life. Now Joe has a serious lactose intolerance, not just, oh, if I have it, I'm going to be a bit bleh. He would blow up like the Michelin Man. If he has lactose in anything, his face blows up, his hands blow up, he just puffs up, don't you?
Yeah.
He just looks like somebody's pumped him up with a bicycle pump. So he has to totally avoid lactose, even so far as like he can't, because of the hip problems he's got at the moment, he's on really strong painkillers. He can't even have painkillers that have lactose in them. He's that intolerant. Anyway, this lady gave him these 2 capsules, and wasn't she lovely? She gave us a hug, and she was just lovely. And she kind of appeared from nowhere. She was just like an angel. And that night, Joe had Faye total yogurt using this lactose, these tablets. He had this Faye total. Now he's not been able to have that for more than 2 years. He had one on Wednesday night, and he was fine. Didn't affect you at all, did it?
No.
No repercussions, no after effects, no bloating, no swelling. Perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Wednesday afternoon, prior to him actually trying it, we believe what she said. We ordered some. It came on Amazon Prime by Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. Again, last night he had Faye yogurt. He also had some Skya yogurt, which is something else he's not been able to eat for years. No ill effects at all. And it feels like a miracle. If I can tell you as a mother how I watch him struggle with his allergies and his intolerances, how many people do we all know who have this same problem? Oh, I suffer from bloating, I suffer from fluid retention, I suffer from swelling. It's worth getting tested. Some GPs will test you, some just aren't interested. But if I say that this week I felt we were touched by an angel, and I can't tell you how happy I am to know that he can now eat stuff. I mean, you could even eat quark now, couldn't you?
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
Yeah, he's always said to me, I really envy you being able to eat quark. I want to eat that and I can't. And it's not just a case of like, oh, if I have it, I'm going to feel a bit yuck. I mean, he would like, if you saw his face just swell up, it's unbelievable. So I want to show it you for anybody who has these problems or anybody who knows anybody who has these problems. Joe's got the box, yeah?
Yeah.
You see it on camera. I say it's £25.99 for 180 capsules. We've tried cheaper versions before and they didn't work. We've tried some from Holland and Barrett before, it didn't work. This one has worked for Joe. I'm not promising it would work for anybody else, but it's worth a try. Actually, from a cost perspective, it works out at 14p a tablet. If you take into account that now Joe can eat yogurts that are much cheaper than the yogurts he's been used to eating, he's going to be better off anyway financially. And 180 tablets, you know, even if you're taking 2 a day, it's a 3-month supply. What you do is you take 1 tablet with a sip of water immediately before you eat the thing with the lactose.
Well, it says just take it with your first bite of anything that contains milk.
There you go. And we're amazed by where milk is. You know, Joe has to buy free from foods. And you would be surprised, you go and you look on the free from section and you think that's going to be okay. He has to read the labels on everything.
Yeah, a lot of gluten-free foods will still have milk in.
Yeah, and a lot of people who've got a gluten intolerance like Joe has also have a lactose intolerance. We were looking this week in Sainsbury's at the Promise rolls that are now a new healthy extra B choice. We thought they'd be ideal for Joe. Well, in fact, I bought some for him. And when we read them, they've got egg in. And Joe's allergic to eggs. So you do, even, you know, if you've got a small intolerance to things, you do need to get into the habit of reading labels. So that's been our week. You know, I've had a Zacharias who's blessed me, very biblical, and an Anne who was an absolute angel. I wish I could go back and thank that lady for what she's done for Joe, because it's life-changing. And it's only about food. And, you know, we have to eat food on a daily basis. I do know a lot of people on Slimming World in my own group have lactose intolerance. So I'm not making anything from this. It's not an affiliate link. It's not an advert. It's just something that's made a difference in our life this week. And if I can share that and it helps one other person, then it's worth it.
We're like 28 minutes.
Right, I'm going. Got jobs to do and things to do. But yeah, going forward, 2 A's, 1 B, 15 sins. We'll see where it takes me next week. But I couldn't be happier than I am this week. Have a good week yourselves. Take care. And thank you for the card, Kath. It's beautiful. Cheers.